Go ahead.
Well, about the end of May, we were in a marshalling area, which was a place, once you got there was no more, anything you did was a secret. Letters that had to go out was censored, and that was around the end of May. And then, as the days went by, from the marshalling area, we were ready to go out to the boats. We went on a boat around June 2nd or 3rd. And we were there, you know, playing cards and waiting. Nobody knew when D-Day was going to be, which was June 6th. And so we had a lot of fun while we were on a boat. But we never thought of that was our first invasion. Some other places that they went into Italy, so that had the experience already. Once you have experience, it's not easy when you don't know what's going to happen. So it's a sort of a, wouldn't say it's not a game, but you go all along because everybody else is going. On June 5, we started to go out. I thought it was supposed to be a regular for a landing, but actually it was like a practice. But it was supposed to be that day for the landing. The weather was bad. Not all over. Where I was, near Utah, I was near Utah Beach. The weather was like a beautiful day, it looked like. But they said for the rest of the landings, they had 5 beaches to land on, that the weather was bad. So we went out that June 5, and we came back again. But it was already in between. They had settled that they were going to go on June 6th. June 6th turned out that they said they were going to have a window of...
You have a piece.
On June 6th, they said there was going to be a window of good weather. And Eisenhower, General Eisenhower, decided we should go then. And we went. But when you got off on the big boat, you had to come down with all your equipment that's around you, and the guns. You had to come down from a boat and on a rope ladder. And believe me, if you let go of that rope a little bit, you would have gotten right into the channel. You would have fallen in. We finally got down that ladder into a landing craft, and we were on our way in between. I looked up, I remember looking up at the sky. It was all black, all with Allied airplanes, all American or British airplanes. And some of the ships that I saw were shooting out rockets like, they were going like crazy. And about 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, I guess it was, at that time, maybe it was earlier, that we landed on the beach. Before we landed, I got into the water, and the water was up to my belly button. But we held the guns up in the air so nothing got wet. And as we came towards the beach, I saw a man dressed in a uniform. It was like with a cane. And I didn't know who was then, but it happened to be Teddy Roosevelt. He had landed apparently earlier than we did, but we had landed in the wrong position. And later on it came out that he said, well, wherever we are, we're going to start from here. And as we landed, I already saw German prisoners coming across on the dune, just to light up right. My eyes were sick. I saw prisoners already. And then, as we got off the beach, there was a causeway. And that's when we went on, and that was from then on we just went. And about an hour later, we were shelled. And the noise that the 88s, which we found out later, I didn't know what kind of a gun the Germans were using, but it was called 88s. And it made like a screaming noise. And it was, well, the first time I ever heard those shells going over my head. We just ducked on the side, and We kept it in. After a while, it let up, and we went our way.
Wow. Did you see the hedges? I remember in Citizen Soldier reading about the hedges at Normandy, that the tanks couldn't get through because...
Yes. At that time, the tanks were they weren't fitted properly. They were fitted as tanks, but they couldn't. The hedgerows were so thick that they couldn't get through. So they went and put plows to the front of the tanks, which just dug up the whole hedgerow and just threw them over, and the tank was able to go through. But that day, it was a very tiresome day. We just marched and marched, and every so often we stopped because we were being shelled. And I remember that night, I was very tired. But we dug a foxhole because we learned that the most important thing is to have a foxhole. If you got hit, it had to be a direct hit, but otherwise the shrapnel wouldn't get at you. And that night, some or other, with all the shooting, the artillery that we were getting, and as a matter of fact, the Germans were sending out airplanes with lights that illuminated the whole field, and you had to stay still like a statue. But some or other, after that happened, I went to sleep. With all the noise and everything else, I had a very good night's sleep until the next morning. That was June 6th.
What's your name?
Louis Walensky. W-I-L-E-N-S-K-Y. I'm lucky I'm sitting here. I mean, I landed on Utah Beach. The fellow that landed on Omaha, it's another story. It's a hell story. As a matter of fact, if you see some of the narrations, what happened to the 4th Division, now when we landed on Utah Beach, some of the commentators say that, as a joke I guess, that we had more casualties when we were practicing at Fort Benning, Georgia, than we had on June 6, 1944. I laugh at that every time I see it. Maybe we did.
How old were you when you landed?
I was 24.
24. Wow. Well, you're the greatest generation, and we thank you, because I had a wonderful childhood thanks to you guys in this country.
It wasn't something that you say that the greatest. We just do.
I know.
We just went ahead. We thought it was the right thing to do, and it was.
It was.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because otherwise we'd be speaking German or Japanese.
That's right. Well, thank you so much. This was
You're
wonderful.
welcome.